Hello, Mr. Farland and members of the Chamber. My name is Abby Jamison. I am an industrial organizational psychologist. I am here tonight to speak to you about cognitive ability tests, their purpose, how they are measured, how they are used in selection, when they should be used, and when they should not be used or should be used with caution. Cognitive ability tests are tests of mental ability. They measure constructs such as general mental ability, arithmetic and sequencing abilities, computation and deduction, as well as verbal and written comprehension, amongst many others. They are used to predict job performance. They have also been highly correlated with training ability, indicating if someone scores high on your cognitive ability test, they will likely train well for the specific job. Cognitive ability tests have proven over and over to be valid indicators of the construct they purport to measure. If we have a cognitive ability test that purports to measure arithmetic or reasoning, we can be certain that they are actually indeed measuring that individual's arithmetic or reasoning ability, as long as we have high validity and high reliability associated with that test. Multiple studies have shown that cognitive ability tests are highly correlated with job performance as well as training, especially for the more complex jobs. The greater the complexity of the job, the more deduction, reasoning, probably paperwork that is involved with the job, the greater the prediction of future job performance. Many of you have heard of the Wonderlic test. It is a standardized test with a certain amount of numbers, a certain amount of questions. It has to be done in a certain amount of time. It is an excellent test to use, especially because it provides us with norms of age, of gender, of ethnicity, and of education levels so that we can compare our applicants with the average. We want to use cognitive ability tests when trying to predict performance within a job, such as for one specific job, mechanic. We can also use it across jobs within an organization. Cognitive ability transfers well, so we can use the same cognitive ability test with our IT guru over here as well as our HR manager over here. Cognitive ability test should be the primary selection tool used. They routinely show high validity. They can help narrow down our applicant pool. When they are then combined with other selection measures, such as a work sample, a measure of personality or biographical data, that validity is increased, just letting us know that that it is truly predicting future job performance. One precaution with cognitive ability tests is that of adverse impact. Adverse impact occurs when the minority population is underrepresented compared to the majority population. Cognitive ability tests, for one reason or another, do cause adverse impact against African Americans as well as Hispanics. It is something to be aware of, to actively work against. One thing that can be done, there are statistical procedures. I would recommend, at least when you're beginning to set up this as your selection procedure, you utilize an industrial organizational psychologist to make certain that there are statistical corrections done and adverse impact is lessened. In closing, cognitive ability tests are excellent indicators of future job performance. I highly recommend them as long as precautions are taken to guard against adverse impact. They are excellent indicators of job performance and training ability. Please feel free to contact me if you have any further questions. Again, I thank you for this opportunity.